And the game of the year is Baldur's Gate 3.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
The Game Awards are an insult to game developers, and that needs to change. Video games as a medium has evolved quite a lot since its inception in 1958. We went from simple dots moving on a black screen to astonishing worlds filled with complex characters. All of these games now need a plethora of artisans, experts in their own craft, to bring those worlds to life. And as video games evolved from a technological toy into an art form on par with cinema, it has become custom to recognize the work of those artisans with award ceremonies. There's been several different awards rewarding games throughout the years. For a while, every single outlet had their own yearly awards, most infamous of which was the Spike TV Video Game Awards. Back when TV was a thing, Spike TV tried as much as it could to cater to the young male audience, making the cringiest award show imaginable.
You can also watch us on Twitch and Steam, which coincidentally I've nicknamed my genitals. If you don't see a game at this year's VGX, it's because, like the female orgasm, it doesn't actually exist. Things are just getting started, and not just inside the folds of my adult diaper. You see, Cammy, may I call you Cammy? Our viewers get to decide who wins.
With their host Jeff Keighley as the frontman. In 2014, Jeff decided he had enough of traditional television, and thought the VGA or VGX had become too commercial. He wanted the Game Awards to be global, and fully online, where the real gaming market could be found. But Spike wanted to stay anchored in their old ways. Hence, Jeff left Spike TV to make his own awards show, the Game Awards. The initial goal of the Game Awards was to celebrate gaming without being slaves to marketers. Jeff wanted to have a place where both the past and the future of gaming could be celebrated, free from any outside influences, and where everyone in the industry could join together, put aside their differences for a night, and act as one voice to reward the people working to make this medium as immersive and inspiring as it is.
Tonight at the Game Awards, we come together as a community.
As an industry, we are most powerful when we come together.
We join with the viewers and gamers around the globe to celebrate creativity, innovation, and the role that video games play in popular culture.
The one thing is, though, to make that type of event, in competition with the likes of the Oscars, it needed people to actually participate, and an audience to watch. And what better way to do that than ask big studios to show their next game at the event? And also to bring in a larger audience, why not bring in variety numbers and popular artists even if they have nothing to do with the industry?
I don't play a whole lot of video games.
So in a quest to raise up awareness and interest towards our medium, and attempting to give it legitimacy in the eyes of the casual audience, the Game Awards quickly became a popularity contest, more interested in showing as much exclusive stuff as possible over rewarding creators for excelling at their craft.
World premiere.
As time went on, the awards themselves started feeling like an afterthought. After one very specific acceptance speech that went on for way too long back in 2022,
my children, who I am forever proud of, the best role I've ever had is being your dad. If I had known it was a video game back then, I might not have. Don't be a douchebag. No matter what game it was you touched, you are heroes because you got so many people in the world through a very difficult, dark time that's still not over. Thank you. Thank you to the rest of the nominees. Have a great night.
developers accepting awards would be kept under very strict time constraints to the point of being almost thrown off stage halfway through their speech. The personality announcing the award would blabber on for minutes, even though they have nothing to do with video games. But when the time came for a dev to collect their prize, they would be asked to wrap it up after 30 seconds, being pushed to conclude with a music crescendo in the background.
Along the way, we lost quite a few people also, so we want to dedicate this to all people we lost, and especially to Jim, our lead cinematic artist, who passed away in the last month.
Who gives a shit about people who passed away? We've got trailers to show! Even worse than the few winners who get a chance to get thrown off stage is all the categories that get raced through by the host without showing either the games or the devs.
Now we'd like to honor some of tonight's other nominees and winners. Here are the nominees for Best Action Adventure Game: Astrobot, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Silent Hill 2, Star Wars Outlaws, and The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. This year, the Game Award goes to Astrobot. Here are the nominees for Best RPG. And the Game Award goes to Metaphor ReFantazio. Congratulations. Here are the nominees for Content Creator of the Year. And the Game Award goes to Queso. Here are the nominees for Best Sports Racing Game. And the Game Award goes to EA Sports FC 25. Now our nominees for Best Sim Strategy Game. And the Game Award goes to Frostpunk 2.
They run through the nominees and spew out the winner in order to get back to the juicy stuff as fast as possible. Some of those will even be showcased in the pre-show, before the actual event starts, making it feel even more like an annoyance they have to get rid of, rather than an award celebrating the artwork of an artist. That level of disrespect is mind-boggling to me. And even worse than that is the fact that a large part of the audience doesn't even mind, or care about that at all. One of the biggest reasons why that amount of disrespect gets a free pass is, well, let's face it, the vast majority of the audience watching the Game Awards don't give two flying rat asses about awards. They're there for the world premieres and marketing fluff. A long time ago, there was a yearly event called E3. During that event, all gaming companies would come together to showcase their upcoming games. There would be huge press conferences from major console manufacturers and AAA studios, where everything new and exciting for the following year would be showcased in the span of a weekend. But then, a pandemic arrived, and most of those companies started managing their marketing each on their own, without an official common event. So that led to the untimely demise of E3. This has now made the Game Awards one of the few events where big game announcements get centralized and shared in a single night. Jeff capitalized on that, and doubled down on the promise of making the Game Awards the gaming event of the year.
And of course, also get a look at what's next from our industry's most talented creators to celebrate the best and see what's next. And yes, you can expect lots of news and updates on what's ahead for games, lots of big world premieres, and spectacular live music too.
So now, the event is being watched by people mostly for the ludicrous amount of world premieres being shown, and the award aspect of it has been taken a very far away backseat. Okay, so I've spent way too long making an in-depth breakdown of the latest Game Awards ceremony. Out of the 3 hours and 28 minutes of the latest show, only about 67 minutes were spent on actual awards. And out of those, only 19 minutes were spent on winners accepting awards. Then, 5 of those minutes were spent on the various categories won by the Game of the Year. So in total, the developers won an award on something other than the GOTY, got a total of 14 minutes of screen time out of 3 hours and a half. The largest portion of the stage time is not spent on awards, but rather on popular faces having nothing to do with the industry, painfully rambling about for a paycheck, wondering what they're even doing there.
It's hard for me to see the teleprompter.
In a sense, the actor plays the surrogate for their audience, their entry point into the game's world and personality.
Or friends of the family, talking about their next projects.
Really happy to show the new title, OD.
I can't tell you how pumped and excited I am to be here today to show you our next thing.
Oh yeah, that, and Jeff's own stage time.
Hello everyone, I'm Jeff Keighley, and this is the Game Awards, video games' biggest night.
The man has had 26 minutes of on-screen time during the last show. That's almost 2 times the combined time of all the non-GOTY winners. It really has become the Jeff Keighley show for Jeff Keighley by Jeff Keighley.
The creator of the Game Awards, Jeff Keighley. The creator of the Game Awards, Jeff Keighley. Jeff Keighley. Jeff Keighley.
Now we have the problem of the categories. If you look at the list of all the awards from the latest Game Awards ceremony, you'll see there were 31 categories, and all of those can be separated into 4 subcategories. The first of these is the best of their genre, which is all the categories with Best X Game, Best Fighting Game, Best VR AR Game, Best Esport Game, Best Family Game, Best Action Game, Best Multiplayer Game, Best Debut Indie, Best Action Adventure Game, Best RPG, Best Sport Racing Game, Best Sim Strategy Game, Best Ongoing Game, Best Independent Game, Best Mobile Game, Best Game of the Year. That's 15 categories in there. Then you have the craft subcategory. Those are all the categories about the various crafts needed to build a video game. So here we've got 6. Best Performance, Best Art Direction, Best Game Direction, Best Score and Music, Best Audio Design, Best Narrative. Then you have the 2 last categories, which have less to do with the game itself and more about what it does. So the Meta category. This is still about the game and its effect, but it's more about the effects the game has on its environment than about the game itself. Those categories would be Game for Impact, Innovation and Accessibility, Most Anticipated Game, Player's Voice, TGA, Game Changer. And now the final subcategory is the categories unrelated to games. So those categories are not related to the games themselves, they're related to elements outside of the gaming development. So that would be Best Esport Athlete, Best Esport Team, Best Community Support, Best Content Creator of the Year, Best Adaptation. Now you can see there's a lot of categories of the best of their genre type, but very few of the craft type. Now let's have a look at the categories of the Academy Awards. In the best of their genre subcategory, you've got Best Animated Feature, Best Animated Short Film, Best Documentary Feature, Best Documentary Short Subject, Best Foreign Language Film, Best Picture, and Live Action Short Film. Now, in the craft subcategory, you've got Best Visual Effects, Best Actor in a Leading Role, Best Actor in a Supporting Role, Best Actress in a Leading Role, Best Actress in a Supporting Role, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Art Direction, Best Cinematography, Best Costume Design, Best Director, Best Film Editing, Best Makeup, Best Original Song, Best Original Screenplay, Best Original Story, Best Sound Editing, and Best Sound Mixing. So you can see, at the Oscars, the best of categories are divided by format rather than by genre, because they're too difficult to compare to each other efficiently. And the other award categories, the vast majority of them, are defined to celebrate the various crafts that go into making a movie. Each of these categories are aimed at various artisans who work tirelessly to make movies come alive, most of which are hidden behind the scenes and are the unsung heroes of that industry. That award show is their place to shine and their craft's time to get recognized by both their own industry and the audience. But the Game Awards, by comparison, focusing on global genre categories, doesn't recognize the craft of artisans, but instead builds a popularity contest between producers and popular directors. Instead of showing recognition to the people making amazing games and giving the audience an inside look at how their favorite games are really made, it's only an excuse to boast between the big guys and sell marketing space. Of course, all for Geoff Keighley's glory and benefit. Right, so bitching and moaning about it is good and all, but what can we do? Well, first of all, I would change the format of the Game Awards. Spend more time on the awards and less on variety acts and world premieres. And I'm not stupid. Well, not all the time. So I know it needs to attract an audience. So I'm not asking to get rid of all of those, but I think we could find a better balance. Have less unrelated variety acts. Who watches the Game Awards to see a fucking Snoop Dogg live performance? Give every winner a time to shine on the stage, and have less wordy introductions from unrelated figureheads. Stop wasting money on useless glam. We don't care about popular actors being awkward on an award show they know nothing about. Keep Pedro the Flute Guy though. He's not a game dev, but he's awesome. Seriously. Also, how about making the show 2 hours instead of 3 or 4? It's become bloated, and no one likes to sit through all of that. Hey, here's an idea! Jeff, if you're listening, if your little boy's dream is to have your own E3, why not split this into 2 events? The Game Awards for, well, giving awards, and then have a Winter Game Fest to show announcement and world premieres. Now, the other thing that should be done is a big overhaul of the categories. If they want the Game Awards to be comparable to the Academy Awards, they need to grow up, learn how games are made, and make the awards a recognition of the work that goes into making them, not a popularity contest. Here's what I would do. Well, I would remove most of the best of their genre categories, and split them based on format instead of genre. That would give us Best Traditional Single Player Game, Best Traditional Multiplayer Game, Best VR AR game, Best Free-to-Play game. Then I would focus the other categories around the crafts of game making. So that would give us Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Game Direction, Best Script Writing, Best Original Story, Best Art Direction, Best Cinematic Direction, Most Innovative Feature for Game Design, Best Level Design for the layouts and the objectives, Best Controls and Camera, Best UI UX, Best Development Tool for engines and editors, Best Technical Direction, Best Character Design, Best Soundtrack, Best Sound Editing, Best Lighting, Best Visual Effects, Best Sound Effects, and Achievement and Dev Testing for a game with very few bugs. That would make 24 categories instead of 31, and they would help the public get a better understanding of how a game is made and celebrate the people actually building it. So yeah, I think the Game Awards started as a great idea, with good intentions, but evolved into a parody of marketing and self-indulgence, which has become inflated with fake glamour and artificially inflated hype. It blatantly disrespects the very people it claims to want to recognize by being more interested in orbiting a popularity contest than to celebrate the medium we all love. And it has become so big that it now crumbles under its own weight, with meaningless categories and shoehorned spectacles. I really hope to see the day where our medium and industry become as respected as cinema, but that won't be happening as long as events like the Game Awards remain the figureheads of the industry. I genuinely believe it can change.
But I still have some time credits from last year to cash in.
And I honestly think Jeff Keighley wanted to do good for the industry. But for it to actually happen, more people need to become aware that video games are an art form, merging artisans from a multitude of crafts, not just a marketing masquerade to sell products to the highest bidder. That will be all, so thanks a lot for watching, and as always, see you next time.